Hello. This video is about using three techniques for drawing the figure. Today we've got a standing pose, and I'm just blocking in a basic head shape. We'll refine it a bit later, but the head is about 1/7 of the length of the body in this case. So we want to do the shoulders first of all, and I'll show you this technique for checking the proportions and where the position of things are. It's a contrapposto pose, so it means she's balancing on one leg. This area is the crotch here, exactly halfway through. So if we go to the waist in this, I'm just looking at the model now. Beg your pardon, the hips. Okay, so we've got somewhere where the hips might be. Okay, so right, this shoulder is about here. So using the first technique that I'm going to talk about is the use of vertical lines to find the position of things. So it's about that far out from the head, and we just make a little line there to just put us in position. And the other one is about here. She's more or less facing straight on. Okay, so the hips will go from here. They will just come under there. So using that vertical line, I think I might just shorten this head a little bit, might be just slightly out of scale, and we'll give her a neck too. Okay, I'll bring this up. Okay, so the main point with the use of vertical lines is to tell you the relationship between, say, the shoulders and the head, and the hips and the head. And the feet, we'll just look at the model. Yes, okay, so her feet, this is the weight-bearing foot just here. Okay, so it's about there. Just be very using light lines at the moment. You're going to rub a lot of this out later on anyway. Okay, so with this, we can now just trace where her leg might be, somewhere like that from the hip, and joins onto a foot there. And this other leg will come down to about here, and it'll come out somewhere there. We'll get it right in a minute. I think I need to just tilt that a little bit more. Right, okay, let's find her waist now. And the narrowest point of her waist is almost in line with the side of her head there, just a little bit over. And likewise here. Okay, that's the various positions of things. Okay, the next thing I want to look at, the next technique I want to show you is how we might use horizontal lines. Now, I've got to be sure that this is right, how much I've tilted it. So we might just draw her shoulder a little bit, and I want to see how high this is. So I'm going to take a horizontal line across like so, and we can see how high it is. Yes, I might have exaggerated that just a bit, so it's just a bit lower. Okay, so we've got her head. I'll just refine that just a little bit. I'm not really concerned about, doing a super beautiful drawing, if you like. This is the part where we're really working out the things that we need to practice in order to make beautiful art. We have to practice this kind of stuff over and over again. So I'd really encourage you to learn these techniques. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we've got her waist just tapering slightly. Once again, using the head as a measurement device. Got the head there. About one head down, we'll find her breasts, and they will be slightly raised on this side. All weight's down here. So we, if the hips are tilting this way on her right leg, they're going up a bit. So that means to balance, it's just simply a matter of balance. The shoulders will raise a little bit just to compensate. Okay, just coming into that waist on this side. And we might put her umbilicus here. That might be a helpful point to use as reference. So horizontal lines. You can do the same here. Find that high point here and use a horizontal line going across, and we can see that we're pretty accurate in that case, hopefully. Okay, now we're going to come out to the hip from that waist, just a little bit lower down to the umbilicus. Right, yeah, it's just going up slightly. Okay, I want to do the inside or I might just continue this point first, that the most of that leg, her right leg, is on that line. So this, her left leg, we'll try and figure out the angle that it is, and we'll come down, right, just slightly, because we're not sure. Now this is the third technique that I want to talk about today, and that's the follow-through line. So if we come from here, we've got that line approximately, we think it's right, we can follow it through and see where it goes here. Just go like that again. Okay, so we can look at the model once again, and I'm out. It's more like here, so that's okay. That means we can just bring that leg in just a little bit. Okay, so right, we got that one, got that. Okay, we can now start to just get the approximate shape. Knee would be about there. Quite small ankles this girl has. So we just draw that calf muscle just approximately at this stage. Don't commit yourself yet. We get all this scaffolding done, if you like, and then we can start to get into more creative mode by enjoying some of these beautiful shapes that are coming up. Okay, so mostly it's about just getting things right. I might just draw in these arms and see where they go. She's got her arms behind her back and just tapering down ever so slightly, almost vertical. Okay, it's got to come in a bit. Yes, we've got to come in with there just a little bit more, and I'll show you why. Because there's a space in here. Now that's use of negative spaces is another lesson, but I'll just mention here that what we're trying to do is not look at the arm or this part of her body, the torso. We're looking at that little triangle, if you like, and we can see it if I continue that line. Yes, we're pretty right there. Okay, so that use of looking at that negative space, very helpful. And just here, we've got her. Yes, I think we're right there. Just out a bit. She's just a little bit too big in the shoulder, I feel. I mean, you're using, you know, your experience and your instinct at the same time. Okay, so this one, just talking about these negative spaces, that's a lot wider. And we use a horizontal line here to just line up where it might be. And I see that goes down a bit further. So if I use that horizontal going across to here, this is ever so slightly higher. So something like that. And those two triangles, very, very helpful. You practice looking at those things. Some people don't kind of consider them, but in fact, if you really look properly. Okay, so everything's pretty right. While we're talking about negative spaces, you might look at this, and there's something not quite right. Yes, I see what it is. It's there. Right. Coming over there. That's better. That's why I was problematic with that shoulder before. So that's coming here, and it just goes down to that shoulder. Ah, right, we're getting it now. Okay, we can see now something else. I'm going to refine this head just ever so slightly because I can see that the length of that neck is here. It's going up slightly more. And this one, if we use the horizontal once again, oh, no, we can use a draw-through line. We can go like so, and we can see where that neck is there. On this side, it's a bit higher. So her chin is just coming there. Right, okay, so because of the shoulder tilting upwards, we're going to get that. Ah, right, that's better. Okay, it takes a while. Sometimes, as I said, no matter how experienced you are, every drawing is a challenge. So, right, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to just refine this figure and not waste too much of your time, or the video time. So I'll come back to you. Well, as you can see, I've done a lot of refining of this figure because I wanted to show you something that I said at the start of the video. It's not the important thing with this is that we we understand what the lesson was about, and if we think of the head without the hair, we use the vertical lines from various points to see where it might be, where the shoulder might be. I narrowed it down for a purpose. She is slightly bigger than this, but I wanted to do something fun, which I thought you might enjoy. Likewise, we use the vertical lines with the hips, and we can even use it with the foot, the end of the foot as well. We notice with this central line, that even here, I don't know if you can see that little line there, but on the model, the eyes are both on the right side of that line. And the follow-through line, maybe we could look at the horizontals, and we see that the umbilicus and this are pretty much in line, just slightly higher or lower, but gives you a pretty reasonable view of where things might be. And the follow-through line from here, you remember that I had overstated it. I've understated it now, but it was about there. Using those follow-through lines like that to see where they intersect is useful not just for life drawing, but for all all forms of art, whether you're using still life or any subject matter, you will still use that follow-through line. And we can see, we can check that way, we can check how that fits into there, etc. So let's get on with the thing that I wanted to maybe have a bit of fun with. So I'm living in Japan, and I love Ghibli, and especially I like the freedom of his figures, and I love the backgrounds as well. The landscapes are just wonderful. So I thought I drew the head slightly bigger because I wanted to make her look more like a kid rather than an adult woman. But we can dress her up in some Ghibli type clothes. I can't copy, obviously, for copyright reasons, but give you an approximate view of what she might be wearing if she was a Ghibli girl. And yeah, we could come out here and maybe give her some sleeves. So I'll just make a line like so, maybe curve that slightly, and join it up here. Now here's a good example, just looking at it now, of how we can use that horizontal lines to find where things are. And obviously we want to find that sleeve on this arm. Just a minute, I might just make a little adjustment there. I can see it now. Okay, we can come across like that. We can curve it if we want to. We can go straight across, and we see it's approximately the same. But let's just go with that curve because that's a good design device. And curve it up a little bit more. Maybe use this line here, that point. Okay, they won't be exact, but there'll be something like that. So that's a good device, good trick to use if you want to, try and find where things are. Use these horizontals. It's slightly too long, I feel, because this arm is popping out a little bit more. That's better. Okay, might give her a nice Ghibli style sort of outfit here. And using that centre line, which is very handy. There's a slight tilt in her figure to one side, but not much to worry about. Okay, what I'd like to do maybe is give her a little bit more fullness in the skirt, and I might even take that up there and there. Okay, so we can just have a nice gentle curve to it. Ah, yes. So, you can draw something and think, as you're drawing, think, what can I do with this? This might be rather nice to work on. So if you're interested in character design, it's best if you start from what's real. I think that's the main point I'd like to make on that department. But you start from real, and then you can change it around accordingly. All the science fiction and fantasy artists, they're fantastic guys, but they start from real. One of my heroes is James Gurney, and I'll put a link to him actually for you, because I really recommend looking at his site. He's a wonderful artist, and so he's written a book about fantasy art, how to do it. Notice, if, for example, I'm just making up this dress, but see, because we know that leg is there and that it's round, we can emphasize that point just there, goes in a bit, and then to the other one comes out again. Gives a bit of a naturalness to it. So we can start from a fairly orthodox contrapposto pose, and we could work on it to make it into something a little bit more fun and a bit more interesting. So do this with your own work. Draw. If you can find poses that are really good, easy to learn from. And might just lighten this a little bit heavy. You have to draw heavily for the video, unfortunately. I recommend using light lines. Yeah, let's give her a pair of slippers. Anyway, just having a bit of fun with this. A bit big. I'm always telling students that they try not to rub out too much, and there I go and do it myself. So. And I'm just trying to get some of that outline so we can enjoy the Ghibli-esque outfit that she's wearing. And just a few pleats to always try to think of the anatomy underneath. So if you want to become an artist or an illustrator, there's no doubt about it, you will benefit by learning anatomy. Okay, so I'll finish now, but if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe, but even more, I'd be really interested in talking with you, and if you could make comments, if you could write a comment and tell me what you think and what you'd like. I'm intending now to make a lot of videos for teaching purposes, and I'd appreciate your comment very much. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it, and hopefully see you next time.